Hundreds of protesters besieged Nigeria's National Assembly on Monday, February 9, 2026, to oppose the Senate amendment of the Electoral Act. The protest, tagged Occupy the National Assembly, was organized by the Obedient Movement and other pro-democracy groups in the country over the removal of the phrase real time from provisions on the electronic transmission of election results. Former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi also joined the protest to throw more weight on it, carrying placards that reads "Our votes must count" and "No to electoral robbery." The demonstrators marched from the Federal Secretariat to the National Assembly in Abuja. They were, however, stopped by heavily armed security operatives comprising the police, the army, and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, and were forced to hold the protest outside the assembly complex. Addressing journalists at the protest ground, Obi warned that credible elections remain critical to Nigeria's stability and development.
We are certain that, but we need to address our concerns about this country and the election. What we want is an electoral process that is transparent from beginning to finish. Our demands about the amendment is simple. Let us have an amendment that allows first, let no qualification of people who want to contest the election. And that qualification must be advertised. So if anybody says, I went to this primary school, I went to this secondary school, I went to this university, people are supposed to know about that. And that process has to continue through party primaries and everything. And finally, the election must be transmitted electronically from the polling booth direct. We don't want any point any longer. Let people watch it. That's what is happening in South Africa. That's happening in Ghana. That's happening everywhere. That's what we have suffered before. We don't want any glitch again. Glitch is finished. We want things to come happen. No more glitch.
Other protesters accused lawmakers of undermining democratic reforms and vowed to sustain the demonstrations until the National Assembly reverses the amendment.
That we are citizens, we are not slaves. And as citizens of this country, power belongs to the people. Yes, sir. The office of the citizen is the highest office in the land. For too long a time, the Nigerian people have been disenfranchised. Billions are spent on election, people vote, and at the end of the day, their votes are subverted. And Nigerians are saying enough is enough. Enough of all of that. We voted people into the National Assembly. We have a representative democracy. That then means that not all of us can make decisions. Not all of us are in power. We have certain people, and that's why once every 4 years, there is election for people to elect the people that will represent them. What we have at the National Assembly, instead of representatives of the people, unfortunately they have turned themselves to the mouthpiece of the executive, and that must not be allowed to happen. Electronic transmission of results is sacrosanct. It is not something that is not whether Senate likes it. The Senate must do it, and that's it. We as the employers of the members of the National Assembly, we are saying to them, we want electronic transmission of results, and the National Assembly has the power to pass it into law. I know a lot of people will say, what if there is no assent? Yes, the Constitution, the way it is structured, allows for the bill, when it is passed, to be sent for a president. And you know my stance on the fact that Nigeria does not have a president. For the president to assent. And where a president refuses to assent, the National Assembly has the power of 2/3 to veto it and pass it into law.
Of course, as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, like I keep saying, this is the only country that we have. For us, we want anything that will make Nigeria a great and comfortable country for all our citizens, and that's why we're here, just for one purpose, for the electoral reform. We don't think it's too much to ask the National Assembly to do. Just do that which is right and that which is needful. Pass the electoral reform. I mean, it is simple to say electronic transmission of results, real time. That's all that we ask for. And if this government is fair to herself, I think it's one thing that they should pass without any hitch. And so we challenge the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, to do the needful. I mean, this is what Nigerians want.
Transfer and transmission are two different words. They have no relationship. Transfer, most likely, they may tell you that transfer, according to their meaning, they may tell you that when you transfer it from where you write it manually, you cannot go back to the collation center to transfer it to the IREF. But what we want is direct transmission in real time. Put it on the server in real time. Not where a situation where you not transfer it. Transfer means from stage to stage. Transmission is direct.
Who is a terrorist? APC is a